but they're winning and I can't control. Writing on my opinion, then I spit it, guess I'm letting go. Two of my friends are crying, but they
Yo guys, welcome to Off the Pot, new series on Insanity. We're here with Mikeyy, Two Wise, Cole and Jason. Thanks for coming on, bro. It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It's good to be here.
I was expecting you to come through with the custard squares.
Oh, no custard squares today. I actually just got, I was walking here and the posters that used to be there are all gone now. So I feel like my 5 seconds of fame are over, no more posters. But
do they still play the ad?
a little bit, not as much, but yeah. It was a really interesting experience actually seeing that on my YouTube.
Yeah, it buzzed me out a lot when I just saw it pop up randomly, on my, just as a normal ad on Instagram.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, whoa, there's
Yeah.
Mikeyy.
No, I remember people still they'll just be like, do I know? Nah, I don't know. And then I'll be like, oh, fuck. Oh, can I swear, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can swear.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you actually with ASB?
Yep. I was the only one. All the actors were not on ASB except me.
Did you change for that?
No,
Or no?
I've been ASB. I told them in the audition, I was trying to be corny. I was like, yeah, I'm ASB, and no laughs. They're just kind of.
Do you want to prove it and show your debit card, both sides to the camera?
Actually,
with the 3-digit number as well.
Can you blur it?
Yeah, I can blur it.
I have the new ASB. I remember she was like.
Oh, the booster card, they had nothing on it.
Yeah.
It's real clean.
She showed me because one of the head ASB ladies was there. Oh, bro. Oh, I'm not allowed to talk about. Fuck. I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Should we take it right back to for anyone that doesn't know you, where did it all start for you, in music and I know your family's not from New Zealand and you moved over here at a young age, so
yeah.
Do you want to fill in anyone on that?
Yeah, so I've been making music all my life, but I started making music professionally, I'd say, when I was 15. I got Logic Pro and I was making music with my PS4 gaming headphones. Nice. That was the start of the production career, but yeah, like you were saying, my parents are from Iraq, so they immigrated here in '96. There was war going on in Iraq, and they got out of it. They came here with all my other family, my aunties, uncles. They all moved to one neighborhood in Auckland called Unsworth Heights. So I call it Baghdad, New Zealand. So if you ever want to go to Baghdad, but you're not in Iraq, you know where to go. But yeah, my dad's a musician. When we first came to New Zealand, the way that he made money before he spoke English was he played Arabic keys and beat programming at parties. Oh, because all these people had immigrated and they couldn't go out to any function. They didn't speak English. So my dad would throw Arabic parties and just the music was him, a drum sampler and a keyboard, and he would just play. So that's what taught me music, him, off the bat. He taught me piano when I was 5, Let It Be by the Beatles. That was my first ever song I played. And then growing up, music was always there, but one day he wanted to record the church band, so he bought a little recording setup, and it sucked. That church album is horrible. He did because he was learning, and I was watching him learn, and then I ended up taking his gear without him knowing and making a trap song called Gucci Bags, and my name was Lil Panadol.
Little Panadol.
Can we still find that on SoundCloud?
Never.
So that was the first song you ever made?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What was one of the most iconic bars from it? Do you remember?
Gucci bags under my eyes. That was the chorus. I got flamed. My homie Luke. If Luke Simpson's watching this, he leaked it. I sent it to him, and then he posted it. And the next day I got to school, everyone, Gucci bags, and I was like, fuck, bro, my shit got leaked.
Did you have the auto-tune?
The worst. It was it was Cubase. If any producers know Cubase, it was this weird classical music software. Okay, it's not weird. If you use Cubase, you're valid, but to me, it was just not good. And it was the worst auto-tune. Everything was T-Pain, super sounding. Oh, all the instruments were out of time, so it was ding, it was like a meme. You know those memes where it's this new song hits and it's a really bad song on as the joke? That was my actual first song. It was that bad.
Well, I don't think anyone's first song will be perfect anyway, so you're just testing out stuff, so yeah.
And I'm not I'll be, nah, it could be better, or I'm misrepresenting how good it is because I'm self-conscious about it. My friends always go, just listen to Gucci Bags and you'll refresh yourself and see where you're at. So yeah, I'm really proud of where I came from, for sure. But yeah, that's the start. I've never said that before, by the way. Like, no one knows about Lil Panadol now.
We got the exclusive right here. And then so how old were you when you made that?
15, 16. Yeah.
And then talk us through your music journey from there then.
I dropped a song called Missing You, which really kind of just started everything. It got a little bit of traction overseas on like the meme community.
Really?
Yeah, and so that's when I saw numbers for the first time and like kind of, okay, I can actually get my music out there. There is like a community of people that I can genuinely like build. Because when you first make music, it's hard to visualize like people listening to it and it becoming a thing. But once you start to see that, it instantly becomes like, okay, this is possible. Now let's keep moving. And I just dropped a bunch of songs, started doing shit online. But I learned really fast that like I needed to meet people. Like everyone I had looked up to had a network of people. And that network to me was like, I need this network and then I can build from there. So I would like go to, I don't know if you guys have heard of LMC, the producer.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, actually, you probably remember this. I was like 15, and there was he had like a producer meetup, and he was gonna like talk, and he had produced for Rich the Kid. I was like, Mom, like he produced for Rich the Kid. Mom, like I gotta go, and she was like, it was like really far away from my house. Mom was like, you can't. My mom was really strict. Middle Eastern parents, strict. You can't. Like it's like at 7 p.m. You can't do that. And I snuck out, Ubered like $80. To like the other part of town and just network, met people that I'm still friends with in the industry today. And from that moment, it was just like, okay, meet as many people as I can and build that network. And that's where I'm at now, I feel like, with just a group of friends that are in the same industry.
Yeah. From building your network in Auckland, how important was it for you to move to Wellington and kind of start again, like meet new people? And
it was hard. It was scary. When I moved initially, it was more of I like to split myself up into Mikeyy with 2 Y's and Mikeyy Malik because I think it's just healthier for me to like give myself time. Like I moved here to grow as a person. Like honestly, it might not have been the smartest move business-wise for me to take this network and be like, actually, I'm moving to another city. But I just needed to like get out of home and like figure stuff out myself. And I feel like I've met people like you, so it's going pretty well, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you shot up pretty quick too, because I remember I was shooting O Week before COVID. I saw you in the crowd. I was looking back through the footage and like the after movie, and then the next year you're on the lineup.
That was great. Yeah.
How did you find COVID, as an artist and also just with yourself? Like, did you feel like you had a lot of time to just kind of take a step back and focus on your sound and really hone in and stuff?
Oh, 100%. Like my EP. Oh yeah, EP coming out. That's also an announcement, which I'm so excited for. I've been teasing an EP for years, but the production of that came from lockdown of just, because I'm like a bedroom rat. Like I spend like 10 hours in my room locked up. Don't talk to anyone, don't eat, just making music. That's like always been me. And being able to do that and not feel bad that I'm not like not going out and seeing people, like in lockdown, we're all stuck in my room. I'm like, well, what else am I gonna do? And that really changed my production because that's something that I was always hella scared about. I've been producing since Gucci Bags, but like I never saw myself as a producer. And in lockdown, after all that time producing, I was like, wow, I just got like a head start of like this many hours, let's do it. And now I'm like a producer, I'd say.
I feel like lockdown gave it a lot to a lot of creatives. It's like where we came up with like a lot of our stuff and that, because it's like that time where you're like, I have nothing to do. Like I might as well just spend it like doing something that creative or doing something that like I want to do. And it was like kind of like a gift in a sense of how bad it was, even though like you had to just find the light in it all, you know, like do something with it.
100%. It's like there's people I know that out of lockdown, like I'm like, damn, I didn't know your beats are that good, bro. Like it had a lot of like good art come out of it. I'm sure we're gonna see lots of good albums as well in the next couple of years. A lot of COVID albums.
Yeah, for sure. Talk us through obviously making your own beats or like rapping on beats to going with the whole live band aspect of live show? Like, how did you kind of get into that?
That was actually crazy. I remember I was at Bay Dreams, because I'd always been playing with a DJ. I just thought that's what you did. And I saw Mellow Downs at Bay Dreams, and his band is crazy. I think the Nansen brothers are like in his band and a couple other people, but they're like New Zealand-wide, incredibly respected musicians, and like jazz but they just, for some reason, on the gritty like hip hop shit, the energy was insane, and I was like, nah, I need a band. And I didn't have anyone. This was before I moved to Wellington. And the week I moved into Halls, I become friends with these musicians. Like, I remember that when we became mates, we got home drunk from town, and it was like 2 a.m., and there was like 10 of us, and one dude grabs a guitar. This is like Nick and Ryan and stuff.
Yeah.
Nick grabs a guitar, Ryan. We didn't know each other. It wasn't like do you want to jam? It was just, and then another person, then another person, then another person grabs a cajon, and then like he starts singing, then I start rapping, and that's how we became friends. And like 2 weeks later, we were just jamming in the practice after a class, and I was like, bro, like, if I played you my song, would you be able to play it right now? And I played them not even a full song, like half of one of my songs. And all of a sudden, they just say, oh, now we gotta pause. And they just played the whole song. And then we did like basically a rehearsal. And I just knew. I knew the second that happened, the energy of the show was just gonna elevate by crazy, because we're mates, so our chemistry's crazy. Like, I'd like freestyle, and then I'd like stop, and then he'd like stop, stutter, boom, and go back. Like, they could read my energy because they know me, they know like my little like body language tics, and it's been crazy. I'm so grateful for my band.
Do you think now, like, you create more for like live performances than like plays online? Like, do you think that band aspect is added to that?
100%. But also, I also like now change all my songs for live. Like, even if I'm not playing in a band like showed me. Because when like I'm producing, and I like before, when my production wasn't at a level where, like, right now I have a musical director, James Mack. Shout out, everyone he has great music. He's one of the best people we have in this industry. Like, he just cares about New Zealand music, and he's helping out New Zealand music. James Mack is his name, but he's my musical director that he can take the chorus and while I'm live, like, trigger it to play again if the crowd's hype. Or with my band, he modifies everything so that the guitar can sit well with this. And before playing with a band, I just thought, play my song, start to finish, rap over it, done. But now I change everything. Every set is a song you've never heard before, and you won't hear unless you come to the show.
What's your favourite thing about performing live?
That's tough. Everything. It's my like favorite thing to do in the whole world. I'd say my favorite is the crowd interaction, though, 100%. If I had to say one thing, just like seeing them. I just love like when I say hands to the right, and then you see and to the left. It's like it's like you have 100 friends, and they're just like fucking with you.
Was that something that just came naturally to you, or did you feel like you had to build that up over a long period of time?
Definitely not natural. I remember I used to sing cover gigs, like Ed Sheeran songs. And I would sing them so fast because I was so nervous, and I wanted to get the right. Like, I sang, there's a video of me singing Riptide in year 8, and I'm like, lady, running down to the Riptide, dead, thank you, bye. So just hella nervous. But the more I performed, I just got comfortable with it.
What were the main Ed Sheeran songs you would perform?
Oh, I did Photograph. I did Shape of You, some of the older stuff. I used to do Khalid a lot too, like Location. Yeah. Man. But it was so boring. I can't sit on a guitar. Like, I have to be jumping and screaming. And I remember my dad when you were younger, you sing beautiful. Now you just shout and run and scream. What happened? And I'm like, this is me. Like, I tell my friends, I'm when music to me is like meth. Like, you'll just see me in my room, a new track comes out. Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm good. So, yeah.
It's the type of energy that you want, though, because you're really passionate. It seems like you're really passionate about it, and like you just want to like show yourself through it. So, yeah.
100%. It's like the way I tick. I was actually telling, because we had the Skip the Boat show, and there were some people from overseas, and we were discussing like how we got into music, and I was just like it's just like my brain ticks like that. I'm not even doing music. It's just like a no-brainer. This is just me. It's like my personality, like not as in my personality, like how I talk, but my brain is wired in music. It's not like I picked it up. I'm just doing it because it's what makes everything make sense to me, if that makes sense. Yeah.
I noticed with your new song, it's kind of taken on a new sound, almost like pop in a way. Can we expect you to be jumping genres in the future?
100%. 100%. I'm so excited, because I want to have a career where if you want to buy into my music, you kind of need to just buy in and trust my voice and what I have to say, because musically I'm going to take you everywhere, and you'll never know, because I change, I'll listen to drum and bass in the morning, and then smooth jazz in the afternoon, and then I don't know, UK garage that's bomb, weep, 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 whoop, whoop, in the night. So if that's how my brain works, then musically that's just I almost have no choice. I have a problem where I make 3 songs in one song, and my manager and my people close to me, they're like, why? You had this sick rap song. Why is it now a drum and bass remix at the end? And it's because that's how my brain ticks. I just I love rap music. Oh shit, drum and bass shit. Oh house. But yeah, that's how it works.
That's not a bad thing though. I feel like you're creating your own sound when you're doing that too. So definitely stick to that. But yeah, you do have to have structure, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
No,
Getting
it sounds
better.
good.
Structure is not my best friend. Actually, that's I'm not a finisher. That's my problem. I'll make 100 ideas, and one of them will be a complete song, but 100 of them will be 30 seconds of this crazy I don't know, weird ass orchestral thing, and then okay, now how do I formulate into verse, chorus, finish the song, or I'll have a crazy verse because I'll be in the toilet and I'm on my voice memos, I'm put it into Logic, finish that idea, and then but what if I actually made this song, and then voice memo, make a new one, and then halfway through that, and it goes on and on and on and on.
Do you just get inspired at random times musically to create anything, or?
Yeah, I feel like I've always. It's
in the shower,
I feel like I have too many songs in my head, and I have to get them out. It's like people yelling in your head, and you have to just get it out, or else it's gonna go crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even in writing sessions, that's one of my assets that I can use, because sometimes you'll be in a room and there'll be an art, a label will present you this artist. Okay, we want you to help write for this artist. And maybe they're new to songwriting, or maybe they're in a phase where they don't know what they're gonna do next. And it's my job to make them happy and give them an idea they feel comfortable with. And because I have this hyper brain, I can just take any little thing. I'll be like, what'd you do today? And they'll be like, oh, my car broke down. And okay, car broke down. And my brain would be like, that's really annoying, sing a melody that reflects that emotion and let them run with it. So that's an asset. But then sometimes it works against me, because if you have all these ideas, you're not going to be able to finish one properly and help that aid on a business sense. Because that's the biggest balance, the creative brain versus the business brain. I want to write an album with drum and bass, house, pop, hip hop, because these are all genres that I listen to and resonate with. But my marketing team hates that, because they want to submit a product and a cohesive brand that they can then, but I'm not going to settle for that and change what I want to do creatively, because that's what they want to push the business. But I'm also not going to completely neglect the business side, because that then will not give my creative brain a chance to shine, which is what everyone wants ultimately. So that's the dichotomy. But
yeah, it's kind of finding the balance of being creative but also being marketable.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you felt your latest song, it's got quite a little pop, quite a lot of singing.
Very
Is
singing.
it from your dad complaining that you're screaming too much? Or?
That's okay. Wallahi, bro, that song, it was in lockdown. My dad goes, we were having a coffee, and he goes, because my dad loves 2 people, the Beatles and Teeks. And he always said, if you make a song like Teeks, you will be the mashhoor, which means famous in Arabic. You will be mashhoor if you make, listen, and he'll play me there's a song called Younger by Teeks. I love Teeks. It's an amazing song. Pop song. He has a beautiful voice, very chill, mellow. And he's like, why do you make the bong bong? And so I was like, okay, Dad, I'm going to make a pop song today. And I'm going to play it to you tomorrow morning. And he was like, okay. And I was like, I was like, I'm not going to release it. I'm just going to prove to you I can make a pop song. And I made Don't Think About It that day. And then I played it to him the next morning. And to be fair, he was like, I'm so proud. This is exactly what you need to be doing. I love it. And I was like, yeah, but that's the point. I don't want to make pop music. And then I keep listening to it, and I'm like, okay, I actually kind of like this song. Like, maybe you were right, Dad. And then the next week, and then my mom hears it, and then game over. Don't think about it. Why don't you release it? And she convinced me, and I was like, okay, it's time to drop it. So I did.
Nice, man. Your dad being an artist, like, with his keys and his drums, do you ever think, like, using, like, the Arabic influences, sampling there? Because some of those drums and those vocals go so
crazy.
hard. I'll just be sitting, because I work for an Iraqi barber, and the songs, bro, you just, like, can't help but to, like, bang your head to.
Yep.
The drums are crazy.
Crazy,
I don't know
yeah.
why no one's used them yet in, like, hip-hop.
I have a song that uses, like, the
Yo, yeah.
like, you know,
That's
like
so hot.
the tombog, yeah. So 100%, I got
Yo.
that coming, but maybe in a while, because, you know, they've had pop, they've had drum and bass. I don't know if they're ready for, like, Iraqi, like, just yet. My marketing team would kill me, but it's coming.
Being in and around the Wellington music scene for probably, 1 or 2 years now, is there anything more you'd like to see more of, or anything people could do watching that could help benefit artists like yourself?
It's funny, I grew up in Auckland, and comparing the scene, like, I'm not going to put anyone on blast, but, like, to be completely honest, I love the Wellington scene. Like, I felt so welcomed off the bat so fast. And the fact that nothing came to mind straight away when you asked that probably speaks a lot. Like, obviously there's always room for improvement. I can't even think of anything off the bat to say. Wow. If you asked me about other cities, I'd have something to say.
What is, like, the main difference between, like, Auckland and Wellington, like, just, like, on the come up as an artist?
I think for me personally, I don't want to, like, speak on any exact things, but in my experience of the people I've met throughout this whole thing, it's been so much easier to connect in Wellington and to just become A, friends, but B, to, like, join into people's circles, or, like, there's people, like, I've played gigs. I remember, like, the stuff with LBFR, Mikeyy, all those people, they all knew each other, and I moved here, and they didn't know me, and they were doing their own shows, they had their own thing, even, like, Justin JPEG, who was kind of mixing for all these artists, and it was their scene. I, from the bat, from, like, week 2, 3, 4, instantly felt like I was a part of it, which is crazy, because in Auckland, where I grew up, I will be honest, like, it took me a long time to feel like I was part of it. I felt like an outsider for a lot of the time. And that's maybe because I was starting out, I wasn't at the level I am, but still. Here, off the bat, I felt comfortable to, like, hit up X, Y person and ask, hey bro, let's do a show, or let's do this, or let's do this. In Auckland, it took me, like, a year or two to even feel comfortable enough. So, yeah. I'm really proud to be in this scene and be a part of it. And I think it's gonna go up and up and up as well. Like, I remember when I came here, seeing people like Rob and Sempra, and even like She Hates Jacob, who now is one of my best friends. Like, people that aren't in the industry per se, but are doing great numbers, have great quality music, have a good image, good content, like doing this thing right. Like, not just doing it well, but like at a high quality. And they're just here chilling. It's crazy. It's insane. I'm so proud of it. Like, I flex all the time. Like all my flatmates, when I show them these artists, like Rob, they're like, yo, is this like an American guy? And I'm like, this guy's in Wellington, bro. Like, you can go to Valhalla and see his show. And they'd be like, what? Even Sempra, like, my mate was like, this guy sounds like Sempra at the sound check of the Auckland show. And I was like, it is Sempra, bro.
No way!
Yeah,
What?
straight up. He's like, look.
It's crazy. No one knows.
Yeah.
I feel like
Everyone's catching on though.
Yeah.
They're catching on.
That's
It's
crazy.
good though, because like I feel like just like how you said, like Wellington does have that sort of community and that open arms sort of situation. It's like, it feels like it's only like, because we've lived here for like quite a bit, and it feels like it's just opening up way better now too. Like, everyone's realizing that like we should be supporting each other, we can just like coexist together. I think the problem is that people think that you can't. People think that you're always competing for like everything against everyone else, but we're not. Like look at America and all that. How many artists they have, how many people they have doing similar stuff, and they can still coexist in a sense. Like why can't we?
Exactly. Nailed it, like straight up. That's the biggest thing. I just like, and I've been across people that don't think that way, but like, let's say someone gets a festival or like, there was a time in Auckland where there was me and another person that were doing our thing in our age group. And that person got on a festival lineup and I didn't. And I remember, mind you, this is in high school, but like, we weren't that young, like we were like 17. And everyone was like, he got on the lineup and you didn't. And I was like, I don't see how that, you know, is exclusive. Like, and then I got on that same lineup 2 months later. And it's like, you guys just look stupid now because like we're both on it and we're friends and we're both on it, we're both playing, but everyone made it a competition. And I'm like, that's crazy because you made it out of nothing. It's not even a, like, it was bizarre to me. That spoke a lot. And it was like that for a while. It's not like that here, oh my God. When Will's on High Tide,
Yeah.
I'm sharing that shit. Let's go, Will, and I'm gonna go see him, and me and my friends who love that dude are gonna go watch and support him.
Yeah.
To think that in the exact same, like me and Will are two rappers in the city. This scenario with this other rapper was the exact same, just me and another rapper in the city that we're loosely connected, and everyone's going, shame. Crazy, bro, crazy.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, they don't realize that they're doing that. They don't think it's like affecting the person too when they say those things, or like they're just like, it's just something to talk about in a sense, but it actually does. Like,
It killed me,
yeah,
no cap.
Yeah, no, fair. It should, that's your passion, so like it's good that you care that much about it.
100%. I think that's a big thing. People really, like, I talk about this to some of my friends that are really close to me and my friends that all do music, but aren't in the industry and kind of don't see it. And then when they start to see it, they're always so surprised. Like, my girlfriend's always like, damn, like, there's so many of these little things, these little wins or losses that you have to go through. Like, for example, to play a festival, like, the battle you have, like, I remember when I got booked for R&B, and it's like, okay, we have the meeting, and the booking agent that was doing it for R&B was keen. And then your emotions start to, wow, like, this is a bucket list moment. This guy's like, we have contact. It's like the first win, and you're really happy. And then you get your hopes up, and then my booking agent, he hasn't replied. He hasn't replied. He hasn't replied. And then that emotion that was so high starts to go down, and you're like, fuck, I'm not good enough. Like, they're not gonna book me. Maybe they have filled up the lineup, and I was at the bottom. And then it just down, and it keeps going, and then, we got an email back. I'll call you next week. And now I'm stressing the whole week, like, and these are little things. And not to say that everyone gets these emotions, but I feel like it's very possible that a lot of artists feel this. But then it happens, and you're over the moon. And people just see your name on the poster, but they don't see that 3-month period of like, oh no, oh yes, oh no. And then you start to prepare your set, and then you don't and then you want to book other things, but these guys, like, it's a very delicate game. And even us independent artists that are smaller, we're playing this game. Like, it's almost like a full-time job. But no one thinks that because, like, we're not famous or we don't have crazy amount of monthly listeners, but we're playing the same game.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I feel like people don't realize how many creatives is like, with how there's like a peak and trough situation where like you go through like these mental battles with yourself where it goes up and down, up and down, up and down, and then you just gotta realize that's just the way of it is.
Exactly.
It's just like, and you just remember that like when it goes down, there's always gonna be an up. When it goes up again, there's always gonna be a down.
Exactly.
And, yeah.
100%.
So I feel like that's with any creative too.
It's
like
the same.
Even myself, yeah.
Yeah. I always talk to my videographer, Cam, and I always relate anything he does to music production to piss him off. But like, he'll be like, I'm editing this video and like the footage is corrupted, and I'm like, well, that's like me getting a mix, and then they've recorded it with clipping audio and I have to fix it. Or and even the business side, today we were just yarning about stuff, and he was talking about an experience he went through, and it was like I had been through the exact same thing, like word for word, but with like a production deal or something like that. And it's like all these creative industries are basically the same in different languages almost, I feel like. Which is why we get along. Like I'm always homies with people that do this because we kind of get how it works.
What do you do in your downtime to like stay motivated and be creative and just connect with yourself? Because obviously being an independent artist is super stressful and lots of different things going on at all times.
Honestly, I'd say like usually I make beats in my downtime. If I ever like, it's actually bad. My mentor always tells me, he's like, your homework today is to not make music. And I'll call him, I'm like, I'm sorry, like I made a 5-minute beat.
I made a beat.
He's like, no, why? And I'm like, I'm sorry, bro. But like, basketball is my shit. If I'm like, nah, bro, you need to stop. Your ears are about to die. I'll just go, still listen to music, but like, just 2 hours. Because I used to play basketball growing up. This is actually a funny story. I was in the Breakers Academy, and I was like really good when I was in primary school, and then everyone grew, and I didn't, so they cut me. I got cut from Harbour, like I trialed for Harbour. I made development, and I was so cut that I quit. I was like, fuck basketball, I'm out. And like, all my life, basketball, I quit, never played again, organized like for a competitive team. But now I'm here, because God did, you know.
Yeah, all works out, man.
God did,
Yeah.
God did.
That's my new meme.
Bro, honestly, man, Callum cracks me up all those things he says, bro. God did.
Me and my mate TJ, who I made the song Tired With that I just dropped, literally, like, you coming? He'll be like, oh, like, I'm late, I just got out of bed. And I'll be like, whoa, like, that's so annoying, bro. He'll be like, hey, they ain't believe in us. It cracks me up. I can never be mad at it. If you're ever telling me something, like bad news, just add God to the end of it, and I'll just laugh.
What's coming up next for Mikeyy?
Up next, Sunday Sesh show, October 23rd at Valhalla. I'm so excited to play with. It's going to be awesome. I have an EP, I have a song coming out called Yella, which I actually haven't told anyone. We got a crazy video coming out for that. That song is going to be the start of my EP, which is called I Think I Might Throw Up. It's going to be a great second half of the year. I'm going on tour, Auckland, Wellington, a couple other cities, and then summer festivals, and then more music, and then hopefully the blow up. So,
Sick, man. I'm excited for you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. Really appreciate it. Okay.
How do we end this?
What it's like to be famous, what it's like to be dangerous, what it's like to be nervous. Can I help you? Can I help you? Do you serve a purpose?